Kamala Harris has a teleprompter glitch that I think that y'all should be aware of. This is going viral. Check it out.
So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. We got some business to do. All right.
Hey, how come? Why is it that when the teleprompter goes off, her ability to speak just goes completely in the dark? Like, she just turns into a third grader. I thought it was, we have some business to take care of. Now we got some business to do. We got some business to do. The teleprompter, so this is what happened, all right? The teleprompter for Kamala Harris completely went haywire for like a minute or some seconds or whatever, and she just completely looked like a deer in headlights. Completely looked like a deer in headlights.
So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. We got some business to do. All right. 32 days. 2 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. We got some business to do. All right. 32 days. He did. Then American automakers announced the closure of 6 plants when he was president, including General Motors in Warren and Stellantis in Detroit. Thousands of Michigan auto workers lost their jobs.
That's not true. That's not true. That's a lie. Stellantis actually built the Jeep plant in Detroit. General Motors is still over there in Warren because, okay, so Warren is one of the technology headquarters for General Motors. And what they did was they moved them to different plants. They didn't lose their jobs while it was under the Trump administration. They moved them to different plants. That's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie.
And when it came to building the cars of the future, Donald Trump sat on the sidelines and let China dominate.
So let me give y'all the context. You know what? Politicians lie so much. She says when the United States is supposed to be building the cars of the future, they let China dominate. All right, let me give you the context, right? China subsidized all of their electric vehicle automakers, right? Such as BYD. And so they pushed them and they promoted them, and then they forced Chinese consumers to basically only have that option. That's not the case here in the United States of America. Kamala Harris and Biden, especially with the infrastructure deal, tried to push electric vehicles on us as consumers, U.S. citizens. When we had the choice to choose for ourselves, it's still only accounting for only 6 to 7% of the market. And so they then tried to incentivize by saying, okay, well, not only are we going to put you at a disadvantage by forcing you to convert over by a specific time, or you're going to go out of business, they also said we're going to give these tax credits to anybody that buys an electric vehicle. Well, guess what? Consumers still rejected it. En masse. Consumers rejected it. It works for some people. It doesn't work so much for other people. So when she says, well, Donald Trump had the chance to build the cars of the future, no, that's not true. That's why Elon Musk is actually endorsing Donald Trump for president of the United States of America. And as a matter of fact, Tesla is thriving. The Model Y is the biggest selling car in the world. The Model Y is the biggest selling car in the world. Tesla just released their third quarter results, and it had the biggest third quarter that they've ever had in their history. So people are adopting it, the ones that want it, but it's not for everybody. And so they tried to push it on everybody else. And they wanted to do the same thing that China did and basically remove your choice to be able to choose. And so consumers in a capitalistic market is supposed to be able to choose for themselves. And this is the context behind what she's saying. But it's easy for her to say this at a campaign rally because they got them signs that say, everybody clap now, everybody boo now. That's what really happened. Okay?
And then he talks down to American workers, saying we can't compete with Chinese workers.
You can't. Not at that cost.
And make no mistake, Donald Trump is no friend of labor. He encouraged automakers to move their plants out of Michigan so they could pay their workers less.
What?
And when the UAW went on strike to demand higher wages that they deserved, Donald Trump went to a non-union shop, don't forget. And he attacked the UAW. And he said striking and collective bargaining don't make, quote, a damn bit of difference.
And guess what? Now you see automakers going out of business. That very strike and those mandates, along with them forcing EVs on everybody and forcing research and development. And so basically what automakers are doing is taking all of the profits that they're making from internal combustion engine vehicles. They don't even sell cars in the United States of America anymore unless they're luxury vehicles. If you notice, automakers, Detroit 3 automakers, American automakers, have largely completely abandoned cars altogether. You don't even realize it anymore, do you? They've ceded it over to Japanese automakers and Korean automakers. So unless you're getting a Hyundai, or you're getting a Corolla, or you're getting a Camry, or you're getting a Honda Accord, then you're not really getting no sedans, no regular sedans anymore. There is no more real sedans anymore that's made by the Detroit 3. No Focuses, no none of that. You know why? Because they can't afford to make them here in the United States of America because you can't sell them at a profit and the margins are too small. So every car you would be selling at a loss. So they got to sell a whole bunch of trucks at $100,000 per truck in order to fund this electric initiative that nobody wants. Some of us want it. I like both. But nobody wants it. And so this very strike is the very thing that drove Stellantis out of business. And guess what? Here in Detroit, it's a lot of these people that's laid off right now. They got their little bonus, they got they uptick in their wages, and they laid them off literally a month later. They laid them off literally a month later. So the very unionization that they use in order to win this contract is the very thing that's driving them out of business. And Stellantis, the Dodges, and they dropping up. They about to bring that Dodge Charger out, that electric Charger. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. And so they're moving all of the manufacturing overseas. And all of the dealerships is complaining because all of the cars are sitting on a lot. And nobody wants a Dodge Dart. That's just basically an Italian automaker. And don't nobody want that stuff no more. So all of the layoffs are now here. And instead of letting the market determine and then giving people incentives with bonuses and all of this stuff, Sean Fain sold out to the Biden administration and everybody is laid off now. During their tenure, everybody is laid off now. No new work is coming to most of these plants. No new work.
Remember how he's talked about striking workers, that you should fire them. That's how he talks about union labor. That's how he talks about workers. But Flint, we know, strong.
And let me tell you, I go to Flint off the election season. It's bad. It's bad. And I ain't just talking about water. It's bad in general. I used to be, I had a good friend that I was really in contact with. He wound up passing away, and he was a legislator in Flint. Shout out to him. It's bad in Flint. My guy, Eric Mays, the late, great Eric Mays. He said, Anton, it'll never be the way that it was in Flint. Before he passed away, I had an interview with him right there on that couch back there.
Strong unions mean higher wages, better health care, and greater dignity for union members and for everyone. And on top of all of that, Donald Trump signed a $2 trillion tax cut that mostly went to the wealthy and big corporations, not to working people. And now he is making the same empty promises to the people of Michigan that he did before. But we will not be fooled. We will not be gaslighted. Donald Trump's track record is a disaster for working people.
I wish I could see what was on that on them teleprompters.
And if he wins again, it will be more of the same. Check this out. 2 days ago, his running mate, maybe you saw that. No, but how about that Tim Walz, by the way?
He got absolutely destroyed in the debate.
That's right. So 2 days ago, Donald Trump's running mate suggested that if Trump wins, he might let the Grand River Assembly plant in Lansing close down. The same plant that our administration helped save earlier this year, along with 650 union jobs. Michigan, we together fought hard for those jobs, and you deserve a president who won't put them at risk.
So that was her speech in Michigan. I think it was in Redford. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was in Flint. And then the one before that was in Redford. So I do want to share a story with y'all a little bit later about election interference that's happening here in Michigan. We will get to that. We're going to get to that towards the end of the show. But yeah, man, it's all fake. It's all false. And they're conflating and they're gaslighting you, but they're not telling you everything that's really happening. All right. So shout out to Kamala Harris and everybody that's voting for her.